everyone, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you're doing really well. So today is just me, so as it's just me and you, and I'm also filming and I'm making this video for you, I thought that I would make something that is very special and has a lot of memories for me. So this recipe is Masala Chai, and I absolutely love drinking this tea. It's full of spices, it's sweet, it's creamy, it's very, very comforting, so I thought I would share this with you and tell you a little bit about my story behind why I'm making it. So let me show you with the ingredients what we'll be needing today. So this is what I'm going to be using to make 2 cups of tea, Masala Chai. So I've got 2 tea bags here. This is English breakfast tea, but you could use any black tea that you sort of fancy. You could also use loose tea, that's absolutely fine. I would probably use around 1 tablespoon of black tea per cup. Milk, about 1 cup of milk per cup, so today I'll be using 2 cups of milk. Sugar, this tea is traditionally quite sweet, so I'm going to be using 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of sugar per cup, but sweetness is entirely up to you really. Spices, so let's start with the black pepper. So I'm going to be using probably around half a teaspoon of crushed black pepper. 2 cloves, so this is 1 clove per cup because it can be quite a dominant spice. Similar with the cinnamon stick, it's quite a dominant spice, so I don't tend to use too much of this. And I'm using about 5, you could use 5 to 6 cardamom pods for 2 cups, so maybe about 3 cardamom pods per cup, and about 1 inch of ginger. Okay, so let's begin making our masala chai. So masala chai is traditionally prepared in a pan on the hob, so that's what we're going to do today. So to start with, I probably put about half a cup of water at the bottom of the pan. It's sort of just to sort of give a little bit to cover the bottom of the pan, so that when we add the tea bags or the loose tea, this is nice and hot boiling water, and it will kind of just help release that flavour and give us a nice strong tea flavour for our tea. Okay, so while that is heating up, I'm just going to start letting the tea brew. So I'm going to put the tea bags in, or the loose tea if you've got loose tea, and I'm just going to wait for that to heat up and start to spread into a nice colour, and in about a minute or 2 we'll be ready to add the spices. Okay, so you can see that the tea has come to a nice boil, so I'm now going to just turn the heat down to sort of a low to medium heat, and I'm now going to add the spices. So let's start with the ginger. I'm just going to grate the ginger in with a grater, and you can leave the skin on, that's absolutely fine. So just about 1 inch of ginger going in now. I like to grate my ginger just because it gives nice thin pieces, and it just releases a lot more flavour. You get a lot more out of it. So I like to use, I like to grate my ginger, but you could also just cut it into fine strips. That would work just as well. Also going in now is the cardamom pods and the cinnamon and the cloves, and also some crushed black pepper. I'm just going to add those whole spices. The black pepper just gives a really nice background heat to this, along with the ginger of course. So I really like to add this. I'm just going to give this a little mix. Just so it's all covered in the water, and it will just help all of that flavour come out. We're now just going to let that brew until it's a nice strong colour, and the water's reduced a little bit because masala chai is mostly milk. And then so we'll add the milk in maybe a couple of minutes or so, once that has given a nice flavour. Okay, so it's been probably a minute or two, a couple of minutes, and it's gone a nice dark colour. The smell of the ginger is really coming through. So I'm going to now add the milk. So the 2 cups of milk going in. I just love that colour. I love when tea and milk combine. It just looks so pretty. So I'm now going to let that come to the boil. You need to keep an eye on milk because it can suddenly just rise, and it can just go everywhere, all over the kitchen, which I've done many times before. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it, and then I will show you what to do next. So while we are waiting for the tea to heat up and to start thickening, I will tell you a little bit about why I've chosen to show you how to make masala chai and what it means to me. But first, just quickly, this ladle is great for making any sort of tea with a lot of cream, so doodh patti or masala chai. Just because you need to give it a lot of air, just to kind of give it the consistency and that foaminess once it's come to the boil and the milk has begun to thicken. So while I do that, I thought I will talk to you a little bit about why masala chai and what does it mean to me. So if you've watched our video, I think it was on Pakistan, my perceptions on Pakistan, which is a video we've already released if you're interested to watch that. So basically I talk on there a little bit about how I've travelled to India quite a few times. So I travelled there when I was 11, the first time when I was 11, and then continued to go back. I think I was around 17, 18 when I last went, and I remember having chai all the time. It was something that whenever I visited friends' houses, moved around the city, masala chai was always there, and you could always smell it, and it just was so inviting, and I just fell in love with it. And this is something I don't really prepare too much now. Sorry, this is the technique you need. So you just need to gently lift it and give it some air, and it will just help sort of thicken the milk and make it a little bit more creamy. So this is a good technique to use, and you'll see a lot of chai wallas, or people who serve chai in this part of the region. This is what they will do when they make masala chai. Anyway, so I remember having this a lot, and when I came back home, I used to make this for the whole house, mum, dad and my brother, and it would be there in the morning, and we'd have some before we went to school or they went to work, and it was something that they absolutely loved me making. And it was just so warming, obviously really good for you in terms of the spices, and it was just something that was so comforting and just reminded us of our travels. So I used to make this all the time, especially when I was at school. I don't really make it too much anymore. Me and I mostly drink doodh patti, which is pretty much a similar technique and a similar process, only it uses more cardamom. And I love that taste, and he does as well. So I make that more now, but whenever my parents come round, they always request for masala chai. And whenever my friends used to come round, my Western friends from my school, my little village here in Cambridge, they would always ask for this because the smell would be in the house. I'd often make it, and they were like, "Can you make that tea for me? Can you make that tea, that special tea?" So I always used to make it for them, and they would always come round and request for chai. So it was kind of my thing. It was a bit of like, I was a bit known for it really, and I just absolutely love it for that reason. It's always it's done for me what it should do. You just want to socialise with people and give them something nice and sweet and comforting, and I did that for my friends here, and they didn't really know how to make it. Some of them were curious and did ask me, and I showed them how to make it, but a lot of people just liked just knowing that if they were coming around my house, Masala Chai was always cooking away, so it was really special. It's a special one, really. So yeah, that's basically why I wanted to show you, because I suppose I've just been drinking this for so many years, and I really love it, and I thought I would share that with you. So all you need to do is just keep moving it, and you'll see that it starts to become nice and frothy on the top. The milk begins to thicken. Just don't move away from the cooker at this point, because milk can rise extremely quickly and it will just go everywhere. I've done that so many times when I was in the rush in the morning getting ready for school, and it would just go all over the kitchen. So just stand here and just be patient. One of my fond memories of standing in a street in Delhi and watching them prepare masala chai like this would be that they obviously do this every day and have done for so many years, and this little technique they just tried. I'm not going to try it because I will burn myself, but they just tipped a tiny little sprinkle of the tea on their hand and popped it in their mouth, and they could taste the sweetness, whether it was brewed enough, but it was boiling hot, this big pan. And obviously they've been doing it for so many years that their hands were nice and they're just used to it, really. And yeah, and I just remember being absolutely shocked about that. But yeah, you pretty much can't go anywhere without having masala chai. It's like a must. And you can get it here. You can get like a Western version. Some people know how to make it quite authentically, especially sort of Pakistani or Indian families. But it's something that if you just prepare it at home, it just tastes so much better than these tea bags of masala chai branding that they give you. This is just the best way to make it, and it's so worth it. It's just, you can already smell just how comforting this is going to be. I've been now giving this air for about a couple of minutes, and the milk has begun to thicken really nicely, and it started to rise a couple of times. So I'm going to add the sugar now and let that dissolve. It's going to keep giving it another stir just until the sugar is nicely dissolved, and then it'll be nice and ready. Because the colours come together and it's become nice and thick. So you'll also need a sieve for this, just because there's a lot of those whole spices in there, those strips of ginger, and it's probably not the nicest to have that in your cup. Got a see-through glass, so hopefully you can have a look at the colour. Just looks so lovely, and you'll often have them in glass cups as well. I found this was something that was quite common in households, to have tea in a glass cup, so I thought it's only fitting that I use a glass cup to make masala chai. Okay, so the masala chai is ready, and it's cooled down a little bit so that I can drink it and taste it. So cheers! Yes, that is exactly how I used to prepare it, how I used to wait in the streets of Delhi to have masala chai, and this is what all my friends would come round to have. It's so sweet, the ginger's not too overpowering, nothing's too dominant, because you can get that where it's quite harsh on the back of your throat, but this is a beautiful balance, and it's creamy and sweet. This is just the way I like it and have always loved it for so many years. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and do check out our social media. So our website is www.spicyqissah.co.uk. You can find all our recipes on there, and we've got a lot other things going on Instagram and Facebook, so do check us out there as well. Don't forget to give this video a like, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done already. And I guess I will see you next time with another recipe. So take care for now, and goodbye!